And without further ado, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Pete DeMayo. Pete DeMayo, everybody.
Also known as Richard Simmons.
Or Russell Simmons.
Or Russell. Or Gene.
I actually don't know this guy. I'm waiting for my Chinese food. I heard you guys were fucking with a cripple and I wanted in. So excuse me. But no, Eric and I go way back. You know, we've known each other for years. We've worked together, I think about 8 years now. And Biggie and I, do you guys, you know his nickname has changed. He's not Biggie, he's Sidecar. You guys know that, right? So the actual weekly Surge column is now called Moping Along with Sidecar. But you know, I mean, Eric, he's being a little bit selfish because he's faking. We all know it. But no, but really, you know, he makes us get up here. None of us, as is very evident, is a professional comic. You know, we're dying up here, and you haven't left because Brandon locked the door. Thank you. No, but it's tough for us. But you know, before I stood up here and I was listening to other guys, kind of suffer along. I was like, man, I'm gonna bomb too. I was like, this is gonna be fucking pathetic. But then I said, wait a minute. I stopped. I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? I could be Eric right now. So I feel fine. No, but I mean, really, he is the one guy that nobody can say, you know what? What's the worst? It could have been worse. It couldn't have. That's the worst. That's the barometer that people use to say, you know what? When it could have been worse, they're talking about Eric's condition. Because it's like, oh, you know what? I missed the meeting. My flight was late. Oh, you know what? It could have been worse.
I want a biggie.
It's like I was stepping off an 8-inch step and I shattered both my knees like Nancy Kerrigan. That's the worst that could have happened right here. That's the worst. So keep that in mind next time you have a rainy day or something. Anyway, but he does have a lot going for him, and I think we need to acknowledge that. People are driving him around. He gets the best parking spots. We all know it. People wait on the hand and foot. He gets to piss in a bucket. And better yet, people will take that bucket willingly and dump it for him. That's pretty nice.
What people?
Exactly.
What people?
Are there any other people than me?
What's that? Well, apparently Stewart. But no, I mean, it's not only that's going for him. He was telling me that he was going to compete in the Paralympics. It's the Special Olympics if you're not really retarded, you're just in a wheelchair. But he's competing in the Paralympics, and he's in the unlimited weight class downhill wheelchair race, which he feels that the girth is really going to take him down pretty quickly. But I was like, wow, competing in the Paralympics, that's fantastic. I was like, what could possibly be better than winning the gold medal in the Paralympics? Obviously not being in a wheelchair for number one, but it was better in front of the mirror, don't worry. But no, before we met, I have a heckler on the stage. Can somebody help me out? No, but really, he does a lot of good for the community, and we're all here today to kind of make fun of him, but he does do a lot. Between the work he does for CASA, between all the good poker runs he does to support the various causes, helping apparently very many people move houses. But anyway, he does a lot of good. But when you think about it, a lot of old ladies with osteoporosis do the same thing. So he's kind of in that category. But anyway. But I don't know about you guys, but since he's kind of forced us to deal with the situation, having to deal with the Ericness that's coming out of the wheelchair now, it's difficult for all of them. I find myself acting differently toward him. For instance, I'm like, hi Eric, how are you doing, buddy? Do you need me to push you to take a little poo? It's okay, let's go, buddy, let's push you along. So, it's like everyone's doing the same thing too. So I mean, it's difficult because he's trying to find his place. Before the accident or the incident, he was the bike guy. Everyone else had their place. Matt, he was the guy with the giant goatee. That was him. He had that market cornered. You have Bryant, he's got the whole Eddie Vedder look going on. You got Jason, the slow one. But they all have their own places except for Eric. And what does he have? He doesn't have nothing. He's got a hat. He's got the, hey, I'm Mr. Paper Mache Skeletal System guy. That's all he's got. But anyway, you guys have been more than an adequate audience. I appreciate you not leaving. I'm mainly here because I hear that my accountant told me that I get a tax deduction for being friends with a cripple. So thank you. And I'll hand it over to the next person.